Bricc Baby accomplished the unimaginable after being indicted by the federal government and recently apprehended by federal investigators for the attempted murder of Quando Rondo and the murder of Lil Pap.
Bricc Baby goes on the show and says, I guess they can't say OTF didn't slide for King Von.
Tensions are escalating on the internet as more OTF members are being abducted, and everyone is blaming Bricc Baby. In addition, Rollins 60s members are criticizing Bricc Baby for backdooring Quando Rondo in LA.
So they said that or co-conspirator number 4 is I'm the one that provided the location to
Lil Durk, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, nah.
The court and the streets have dire plans for Bricc. Let's get into the details. Did Bricc Baby snitch on Lil Durk? Bricc Baby has been indicted by federal agents and arrested in LA in connection to a Rollins 60s RICO trial. While that might not be news, word on the street is that Bricc Baby appeared in court and started snitching on Lil Durk. Unsealed indictment hinted that Bricc Baby is in fact a person of interest in Lil Durk's murder-for-hire case. Now, the street is saying that Bricc Baby wants his charges dropped. So what did he do? He allegedly gave the feds a detailed connection of Lil Durk's involvement in the killing of Quando Rondo's homie Lil Pap, saying it was to get back for King Von. Bricc Baby allegedly told prosecutors that at the time of the murder, Quando had a public feud with Durk Banks. Feud stemmed from a Nov 6, 2020 murder, where an associate of Quando Rondo shot and killed an OTF rapper named Davon Bennett, aka King Von. It's getting interesting, right? So did Bricc Baby really snitch on Lil Durk? This is where music executive Wack 100 jumps into the conversation like clockwork. After Durk's indictment last year, Wack 100 popped up on Vlad TV and didn't hold back. He straight up blamed Durk's takedown on Bricc Baby, claiming he'd been singing to the feds the whole time. Wack said the streets initially thought the attack on Quando Rondo was just a drug deal gone wrong. Once Bricc started talking, everything changed.
The world is oblivious to this. We've tied this to a bad drug deal. Remember the story? Bricc Baby goes on the show and says, I guess they can't say OTF didn't slide for King Von.
It turns out that this isn't the first time that Bricc Baby has snitched on Lil Durk in exchange for his freedom. For example, when the feds raided Bricc Baby's home and arrested him on a gun charge, Wack 100 disclosed that it wasn't really about the gun. He said that the feds were pursuing Bricc Baby because of Lil Durk's case. They unintentionally found an AK-47 during the raid, which they then used as leverage to persuade Bricc Baby to provide information about Durk's involvement in Quando's hit.
We're under the presumption that it's an AK-47 case. But what really happened was they came there to get his cell phone. In the process of him doing the search, they come across the AK-47.
Wack detailed the timeline and connected the dots. He said in February 2023, Bricc Baby snitched on Lil Durk in an interview with Flacco, and by March 2023, the feds launched surveillance on Bricc Baby. In June 2023, the feds had raided Bricc Baby's home, taken his phone where he caught the gun charge. However, despite being charged with possession of an illegal firearm as a striker, he never went to trial. The case was mysteriously dismissed shortly after Lil Durk was arrested. Summary: Wack was trying to say that Bricc Baby's phone connected the feds to Lil Durk's involvement in the hit on Quando Rondo. Ever since he allegedly slid for Von, Lil Durk has not found it easy on the street. His legal troubles keep piling up like a teenage girl's laundry basket. Bricc Baby made sure of that. Word on the street was that if Bricc Baby had kept his mouth shut, feds wouldn't have come after the OTF boss. No, Bricc started dropping the bricks right after the deed was done. If you are not familiar with the gist, let's bring you up to speed. Right after King Von was killed in 2020, fans started the Slide for Von campaign, urging Durk to get back at the folks who killed his best friend. Then in 2022, Quando's SUV was attacked right after pumping gas at a gas station in LA. Investigators later confirmed that the attack was an attempted murder on Quando. However, Quando Rondo's close associate Lil Pap was killed instead. Tragic events appeared unrelated until Bricc Baby started running his mouth like a broken tap. First, jumped on an interview and hinted that Durk ordered the hit on Quando.
It's Slide for Von, right? Yeah.
They say that no more.
Why? Oh yeah, because of no, like who died?
Rondo to get back for King Von. Flacco wanted him to say it aloud. He didn't need to ask him for specifics because Bricc Baby was already keen to inform the world that Lil Durk stood on business.
Can't say that no more.
Oh, because of FBG Cash? Oh, who?
Nah, cause Lil Pop.
Don't get me wrong. Flacco didn't understand what Bricc Baby was trying to say. It understand that Bricc Baby was referring to the Lil Pap situation. Made it public that Lil Pap's death was a result of Lil Durk's attempt to get back at Quando Rondo for killing King Von. They're not things to be discussed in an interview. Fans did not hold back the backlash. First comment says Bricc Baby talks way too much. Steady dry snitching on everything he knows about on the internet with millions of people viewing what he's saying. Someone outrightly called him Snitch Baby. However, the backlash did not stop Bricc Baby from running his mouth every chance he got. Spoke about OTF's involvement in Lil Pap's murder like it was a badge of honor. Then, when the federal indictment charged OTF members, including Lil Durk, with the murder-for-hire plot, Bricc was shocked. He was live on No Jumper when the news about the arrest broke. A Redditor captured his weird reaction. It was like his world was crashing down, knowing that he gave up the whole gang, and now his homies were done. He could not say a word until minutes later when everyone was on a different topic.
Over the floor with numbers and shit to call. That's that new shit.
Wait, they got charged by the Fed?
Nothing like it pops up.
Let's go real quick. Hey, good work.
They got charged by the Fed?
He sounded like he was surprised the OTF dudes were slapped with a federal indictment. I don't know. Maybe he was expecting the local police department or some sort. He was nervous. It felt like his heart dropped and no one was noticing. A fan reiterated his reaction. Wait, they got charged by the feds? Said it twice like, y'all don't hear me? Showing how unsettled Bricc Baby was. When the OTF federal indictment was unsealed, it alleged that someone had given up Quando Rondo's location to Lil Durk. According to the indictment, on August 18, 2022, one or more conspirators, including co-conspirator 4, learned that TB was visiting California and staying at a hotel in Los Angeles. The feds left a puzzle for the fans, users, and the entire industry at large to decipher who co-conspirator 4 is. Without wasting much time, one name popped up from everyone's lips: Bricc Baby. In case you don't know, Bricc Baby and Quando Rondo were able to maintain a close relationship amidst the steaming altercation between the OTF boys and Quando Rondo's camp. In an interview on Vlad TV, DJ Vlad straight up confronted Bricc Baby about the rumors flying.
So they said that I, or co-conspirator number 4, I'm the one that provided the location to
Lil Durk, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, nah. You know what I mean? Like, I know it looks... I wouldn't be right here doing all this first and foremost if I was co-conspirator number 4.
Interview. Bricc Baby addressed the circulating rumors that he was involved in Lil Durk's case. However, in contrast to the charging document, Bricc Baby vehemently denied these accusations, stating that he would not be allowed to publicly discuss the allegations if he were in fact co-conspirator. Bricc Baby also stated that his relationship with Quando Rondo was unrelated to the ongoing altercation between their respective crews. And most importantly, he claimed that he was able to maintain the friendship without sharing sensitive information.
When this happened, me and Quando Rondo had officially talked 3 to 4 times already. And I ain't said this nowhere else, but me and Quando Rondo had let their beef be their beef and our relationship be our relationship.
This leads me to a crucial question. Why was the entire internet pointing to Bricc Baby as the snitch who set up Quando Rondo? Some people conjectured that Bricc Baby used his relationship with Rondo to give Lil Durk sensitive information about Rondo's whereabouts. This is the reason why people believe Bricc Baby is co-conspirator 4. Because after the hit, Rondo renounced being a Rollin 60s member because he was allegedly backdoored by one of them. Since everyone knows that Bricc Baby is a documented Rollin 60s member, it was easy for the conspiracy theory to gain traction. When DJ Vlad asked him to comment on the rumor that he had abandoned Rollin 60s because he had been backdoored by one of them, one user came straight at Bricc in the comment section saying, "We see right through you, Bricc Boy." I thought that was humorous until someone said, "This interview is just to pay for Bricc Baby lawyer's fee."
It makes sense. It depends on when they come out who co-conspirator number 4 is, then it all makes sense. You get what I'm saying? Like that do make sense. Like, it makes sense what the world is saying, but it's like, y'all didn't crack the code this time. I know the fans usually solve the case, but y'all didn't crack the code this time.
Most everyone in the comment section seems to agree that Bricc Baby is in fact co-conspirator 4, and he did snitch on Lil Durk. This guy thinks Bricc Baby is a proud snitch wearing a hat with a letter S like a badge of honor. However, it seems Bricc Baby is not the only rat. Lil Durk was housing another OTF member who shook hands with the feds over Lil Durk's murder-for-hire case, Durk's in-house snitch. The saddest thing about betrayal is that it never comes from an enemy. It is always from a close friend, someone in the circle, someone you trust. But here is the tragedy. Finding trust and loyalty is a costly assumption on the street. In a shocking turn of events, it appears there is a rat in Only the Family, where trust and loyalty were the order of the game. Right now, there are some reports, like one from the Express Tribune, that Durk was allegedly ratted on by an OTF member who dedicated quite some years of his life secretly connecting his boss Lil Durk with the attempted murder of Quando Rondo, which led to the murder of Lil Pap. Many things have gone down the street, but I assure you that this recent development has left the industry in total shock. The informant, identified as OTF Jam, allegedly wore a hidden wire for several years to gather evidence for authorities. OTF Jam, who was released from prison in 2022 after serving 12 years for attempted murder, reportedly provided information directly linking Lil Durk to the murder-for-hire plot in question. Say Cheese was one of the first people to report on social media the in-house betrayal of gangster rapper Lil Durk. He tweeted, "Lil Durk Snitch was an OTF member, and he was exposed for wearing a wire. OTF Jam allegedly wore a wire for multiple years. He previously served a 12-year sentence." As soon as the news hit the internet, a series of controversies was sparked, with most people wondering how OTF Jam was able to hide the wire without being noticed for several years. Humorously, someone responded, "Was hiding the wire in that? Big forehead?" Another user tried to offer some clarity, saying, "They don't use wires nowadays. Instead, cops give you a small voice recorder that's really sensitive and you just have to put it in your pocket." However, this user's opinion seemed to be up to date with technological advancement. It says, "A wire? My opinion, not a fact, but every device around you is considered a wire. You don't necessarily have to wear a movie wire. Your phone is the wire, I believe." Well, to be honest, using a wire to rat sounds like some old-school rat thing. I believe that technology has moved forward, and so have rats. In a recent interview with Vlad TV, music executive and rapper Wack 100 discussed the arrest of Lil Durk and the fact that an OTF member allegedly informed on him. Wack 100 commented that it was crazy how Jam got out of jail after 12 years, was granted interviews where he declared himself loyal, and was showered with gifts and respect from OTF Durk, only for him to flip.
Did 12 years.
12
got
years?
out, interviewed, said he kept it real, brought him cars, gave him 50,000.
Right.
This. Made mention that ain't no smut on his name. He ain't never been a rat. Caught a gun case, but eventually he flipped.
DJ Vlad added that Jam served a 12-year prison sentence for attempted murder, supposedly from 2010. He was released in 2022, coinciding with the time of Lil Pap's murder. Since then, Jam has allegedly been wearing a recording device to collect information on Lil Durk and OTF, which has ultimately led to the arrests. Interestingly, just like music executive Wack 100 mentioned, this apparent betrayal within OTF has drawn significant attention. Jam's covert role has sparked widespread speculation and debate within the hip-hop community, amidst Lil Durk's arrest and the discovery of a rat in a household meant for only the family. A 2023 interview with OTF Jam has resurfaced. In the interview, with DJ Jerry, Jam opened up about his long-standing relationship with Durk and the support he received while incarcerated. OTF Jam recounted how Lil Durk's music helped him stay motivated and how the rapper supported him with money and the like while in jail. He said, "I remember Durk was making rap songs for our parties." He added, "That was bro, back before the fame and the money. He made a way for me to be straight." Although OTF Jam did not talk about his alleged communication with the FBI to bring Lil Durk down, his reflection about jail revealed the deep connection, trust, and loyalty between him and Lil Durk, before legal trouble separated them. Lil Durk allegedly handed OTF Jam $50,000 to straighten out his life and pay his lawyers shortly after he was released from prison. OTF Jam was questioned about the allegation in the same interview and admitted that it was accurate.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's bro. You know what I'm saying? My whole time in jail, that stayed, bro. Like, before the money, you know what I'm saying? That was bro. Like, I remember when the money wasn't there, first I'm gonna say you 50, I got you, man. I gave my lawyer money and everything when I'm fighting my case. I ain't gonna lie, Durk come through. All that, like, Durk come through.
Evidently, when OTF Jam was released from jail and welcomed back into the family, a rat was welcomed into the house. Unfortunately, Lil Durk could not smell a rat in his own circle. Well, to be honest, smelling a rat is not easy, especially if the rat was in with you on most of the crimes you have been committing. Someone said, to be betrayed by a childhood friend after you looked out for him, and then wearing the wire around Durk is insane. It be the closest ones to you, and I agree. It can only be called betrayal when it comes from someone you call a friend. After all, no one expects any form of loyalty from an enemy. Take for instance, you were watching an action movie where the antagonist and protagonist are already in loggerheads from the beginning. Would you be shocked if you saw the antagonist plotting against the protagonist? I guess not. Because that's the order of things. It's always the closest to you. Interestingly, while surfing the internet searching for updates about OTF Jam and why he ratted on the OTF founder, I found this. An internet troll sparked by a resurfaced footage showing OTF Jam snacking on McDonald's in what looks like an interrogation room. Fans are alleging that he was snitching on Lil Durk while eating McDonald's. Hilariously, it was DJ Academics who instigated the trolling by asking his followers to caption the image, and without wasting time, his fans opened the floodgates of trolling. One comment reads, "Bro snitched on Durk for a Big Mac and fries." Another added, "You're probably wondering how I got here." However, to be fair, Lil Durk was also out there snitching on himself before the game got real. Are you wondering why? When the Slide for Von campaign became a pandemic, most fans started leaving comments under Durk's posts, urging him to get back for King Von. DJ Academics picked that and tried to get Durk to tell on himself during an interview. You get triggered by the Slide for Von comments. Durk was tempted to speak on it. But with an active investigation into Von's death and the violence that followed, he knew better than to incriminate himself. Still, Academics wasn't letting up. He kept pressing, determined to make Durk slip.
Did you get triggered by the slide? This little ass, man. What are you talking about? By the Slide for Von comments.
Lil Durk's bars on Nardo Wick's Who Wants Smoke remix were referenced by Academics. Durk responded to the Slide for Von comments, rapping, "On my page like Slide for Von, no they trolling me."
They used to say it, but you also mentioned a song. They be like, they be saying Slide for Von, I think they trolling me. Yo, by the way, that song is fire, I ain't gonna lie. For some reason, I just don't see the comments no more.
Durk interpreted those remarks as trolling because, according to conspiracy, he had already slid for Von when he allegedly took out Quando Rondo's friend, Lil Pap. Academics is aware of this, but he wants Durk to say it on his show, though he doesn't let up. Despite Durk's best efforts to remain denial-based during the interview, eventually gave in to pressure from Academics. Though he didn't state it directly, Durk's casual remark was his way of acknowledging the truth.
I feel like you're speaking in parables. I'm trying to like decode it a little bit, but it's... we have nothing to do with nothing. I'm saying that's like me just claiming something.
And by 2024, when he was taken into custody in relation to the 2022 ambush and Durk's terrible collapse.
You be seeing the comments a lot? They kind of chilled out a little bit. I wonder why.
Everything came together. Federal agents swooped in and arrested 5 men in connection with the August 2022 shooting in Los Angeles that killed Quando Rondo's cousin. They are being charged with conspiracy to murder for hire in retaliation for King Von's death.
There are now 5 people in custody who weren't in custody before. 5 people who were alleged to have committed a murder in broad daylight in the middle of the afternoon in the city of Chicago.
It seems that the feds have been searching for a significant connection between the big fish, Lil Durk, and the murder for hire charge against his affiliates. In some way, the feds knew that the crime was a continuation of the tragic events that occurred in 2020 at the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta, which resulted in the death of Lil Durk's best friend, King Von Dar. I don't think the feds need an informant to tell them that Lil Durk definitely called the shots when it comes to King Von's death. So it's no surprise that Lil Durk was hit with the most devastating events of his career as soon as they got what they wanted. As expected, DJ Academics was among the first people to break the news of Durk's arrest to the industry. After making a video about the situation, he tweeted, "Breaking. Lil Durk has been arrested by U.S. Marshals and held in Broward County Correctional Facility until he's extradited to California for his federal charge. His charge is murder for hire for the death of Quando Rondo's cousin, Lil Pap."
Durk has been locked up in Broward County Jail. He's there right now. This is this.
Yes, Broward. He's in Florida. I got the whole thing on. Look on my stream. I got it. Oh my God, bro.
According to reports, Lil Durk was arrested by U.S. Marshals on Thursday and is currently being held in the Broward County Correctional Facility in Florida. Police, JAI. Records show the 32-year-old rapper is being detained without the option of bail and awaits extradition to California to face federal charges. Lil Durk founded the label Only the Family, OTF, in 2010. He claims that OTF is not a gang. After federal charges were filed against 5 men associated with OTF on October 7th, alleging they tried to kill Quando Rondo in 2022. The men named in the suit are Kavlondon Grant, DeAndre Del Wilson, Keith Jones, David Brian Lindsay, and Asa Houston. Although Lil Durk was not named as a defendant in the October 17th suit, his arrest by federal agents has been confirmed to be connected to the murder-for-hire charge. The indictment charged 5 people for the murder of Lil Pap, but it gets deeper than that. Interesting times are ahead, because the indictment points to a well-coordinated plan involving alleged OTF affiliates, who reportedly placed a bounty on Quando Rondo. Instead, his cousin, Lil Pap, was killed. Allegedly, members of OTF used a credit card linked to the record label to purchase plane tickets, enabling them to travel from Chicago to California after learning Quando Rondo's location. The 5 men named in the federal indictment are accused of carrying out the shooting as part of a larger scheme involving alleged OTF gang activity. The indictment suggests these men intended to retaliate against Quando Rondo, whom they reportedly believe to be connected to the tragic death of rapper King Von in 2020.
The charges include conspiracy to murder for hire and the use of a machine gun in a violent crime resulting in death.
In the complaint, prosecutors established their case against Lil Durk and his label, accusing Only the Family of being not just a music organization, but also a hybrid organization that doubles as a criminal enterprise that has committed evil and vile things at the direction of banks. The latest filing also alleged that Lil Durk was planning to vacate the country when he was arrested. It was reported that following the arrest of 5 OTF members, prosecutors received notification that Lil Durk had secured commercial flights to Dubai, United Arab Emirates, and Switzerland. Unfortunately, he never boarded either. The FBI allegedly got information that Lil Durk booked passage on a private jet to Italy, where he was arrested just before hopping on the flight. It's true. When the mighty fall, they fall along with everything they worked for. It appears the year is ending in the direct opposite way it started for rapper Lil Durk. He went from being awarded the key to the village of Broadview to being locked up behind bars in the same year. In addition to rescinding the key, Broadview officials terminated their partnership with Durk's non-profit organization, the Neighborhood Heroes Foundation. The mayor highlighted that although the American justice system presumes everyone is innocent until proven guilty, in the village of Broadview, the court of public opinion of residents has even higher moral and ethical standards of behavior. This is just a glimpse of the consequences of gang life. Your legacy will be tarnished. Affiliates will disown you. And more likely, you'll end up behind bars if you're lucky. However, if you're unlucky, just like King Von, the consequences of gang life will get you boxed 6 feet underground. Interestingly, some people still look back at the event that started these whole tragedies and wonder if it was worth it. If an ego-filled fight was worth the life of King Von and the entire rap career of Lil Durk. But who's to blame? It's simple. You can't be 2 things at the same time. You're either a rapper or a gangster. If you're both, then soon, just like Lil Durk, you'll be a rapper behind bars, while your empire strays outside without direction. Word on the street is that the feds are building a case capable of taking down the whole OTF as a musical organization. Interestingly, while still early in the arrests, the keyboard investigators on Reddit began to connect the dots, predicting a possible RICO trial for OTF. The Redditor explained that the feds will try to prove that OTF is a front for a criminal enterprise, specifically the Black Disciples gang. It says the feds will try to prove that Lil Durk has been furthering the BD's illegal runs by funding them with drugs and guns. According to the Post, they will likely attempt to charge rappers under the label, and known affiliates like Zoo and Booka 600, with whatever crimes the feds think they can tie them to. This will help them prove that OTF is a criminal enterprise, by demonstrating how deep their ties to the Black Disciples really go. Most fans think this would be easy to prove, because most OTF rappers are well-known Black Disciples members. Now the big question is, will rap lyrics be used in the trial, like, what the feds did to Young Thug? Well, rap lyrics might be difficult to use when trying to tie someone to a specific crime, like murder. But as the Redditor explained, in a RICO case, where simply proving gang affiliation is a huge win for the prosecution, rap lyrics will likely be used to demonstrate OTF's deep ties to the Black Disciples and their ongoing feud with South Side Gangster Disciples and other sets such as 051. This smells like trouble for Lil Durk and his OTF empire. Unfortunately, if convicted, Lil Durk and the 5 OTF members charged in the separate indictment each face a statutory maximum sentence of life in federal prison. If you enjoyed this video, then click the card showing on your screen for more videos like this.